Hello everybody to another FM Signals Info Show video edition. My name is still Damagaj from good old Germany and welcome back to a new week and to a new Central Bank's News Update edition. My name is still Damagaj from good old Germany and here we go, start of the 50th week 2012. By the way, it's Sunday afternoon or Sunday midday afternoon, 15 o'clock 02 Central European time. It's snowing here in Stuttgart, by the way. So yeah, fresh weather, and I'm hoping I can give you some fresh ideas for this week. By the way, you see I lost my usually templates here in my Microsoft folder. However, so I've got here only today in this edition here this table for the central bank's data next week. However, analyze the stuff again. It's still yours, and let's make a visit at my blog. At YouTube is the website of my blog. There you can get more infos about the central banks this week. So, let's get started. So this week, very busy week. We see here on Monday we've got central interest rate decisions in Russia. I don't got the exact time. Then on Tuesday, Indonesia also don't got a time. And on Wednesday, the busy day, most important day from the point of view of the central banks, we've got interest rate decision on the Philippines at 9 o'clock Central European time, or even 2 o'clock then New York time, 3 o'clock, New York time. After midday afternoon in Europe, Iceland, central bank interest decision, and the big impact is, of course, or the big focus is on the interest rate decision of the Fed on Wednesday, 18:30 Central European time or 12:30 after midday. So Wednesday midday New York time. It's the Fed coming into the field, if you want. Mr. Bernanke with the rate decisions. 18:30 European time, and the statement at 20 o'clock Central European time. Economic projections will come out, budget balance, and of course at 20:15 or 14:15 New York time, the press conference. So that's the major event, if you want, this week from the central bank's point of view. By the way, don't ignore on Thursday, Bank of Korea, also tradable currency, South Korean won, and of course the chief on Thursday 9:30 Swiss National Bank interest rate decision, statement and press conference. By the way, the Swiss National Bank every quarter offering us their point of view, so it could be interesting. And to complete this week with the meetings on Friday Central European time, or even 18 o'clock New York time on Thursday, the Banco Central de Chile, so the Bank of Central of Chile also got an, how do you say in English? Yes, a meeting date, interest rate decision date, and will publish their statement. So for us traders, is important, in my opinion, here also the Wednesday or even Tuesday evening, Tuesday night from New York time, Australia credit cards balance. If you're trading the Australian dollar, RBA Governor Stevens will speak, and RBA credit cards purchases. so on Wednesday night Central European time, and of course on the evening the Fed day. So I will focus in myself and give you even a setup for the US dollar future in the next minutes. So stay with me and yeah, get a view at my blog. I'm posting here this little calendar too. So analyze the stuff again. It's still yours, guys. Okay, so yes, excuse me for this not so good intro. However, let's get started and let's get forward here with the US dollar index future. It's closing, of course. It's, as I said, Sunday afternoon, 13 meanwhile, Sunday the 9th December. And here we've got the chart, daily time frame. And very interesting development. Look at this, guys. Here the big picture I told you in many videos before, US dollar. And what's interesting for me is this fact. 2010, 11, we've got here this fall back and come back. And the same stuff here, 2012. And it seems really, you know what I mean, really like that he could, or that the wrestler show us here is his comeback quality. So here, why here, as we've got here this put this in the context. Here we've got the down rate here. That was exactly here 2011. Remember, as US were down rated, everybody thought, oh, it's the end of the dollar, collapse here, there. Everybody panic. But since then, most traders or investors or capital markets participants are talking here crash US dollar. But remember, I'm thinking that the US dollar is something like a function, or has the function as a liquid haven. So if you're a capital market participant all around the world, in which currency you can put your money and get out as fast as possible, of course, no question, it's the dollar. And that we are seeing here all around the world. And that we are seeing here, in my opinion. Perhaps I'm interpreting too much. I'm philosophical too much in this picture. But who knows? So, and if we should still stay here above this red line, as we've got here this recovery or this comeback, and above this pink line, about 78, 89, I'm thinking the red Red Bull. I'm not a Red Bull here in the US dollar, but it seems slightly. I would prefer slightly the higher side. Cause here, if we zoom a little bit, here, if we don't start it here on a daily time frame, we see here we've got also in September 2012 here this lows. Okay, we'll break down. Last week we've got here this great recovery on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And much more interesting is this stuff. Look at this. If you want here the lows of September and October and put it together in a context with the highs October. Here we've got here this constructive, simply trend channel if you want. Outbreak in November a little bit too high. Then we came great back, and we've got here last week here this turnaround. So that would be on a daily time frame here, and could be a great setup until the end of the year, and perhaps starting next year. So if you ask me today, but who knows? The picture here on Friday, we go very high, come down. So it could be also that we get lower, but I'm thinking. Put it in a context on the Wednesday FOMC meeting and Fed event day if you want. So I'm thinking that we could get slightly moderate higher prices, and then we will see what will happen. So how the market reacts. But on a daily time frame, I also figured out this picture. Look at this. If we put the 2011 development together, we can also create, if you want, here the first high 2011 and here the second high. So here create and write extended line, and look at this. So we've got here, and the question is, of course, here, if you want, is here we've got an outbreak, come back, big outbreak, come also back, lower outbreak, come back, and now is the question, will we here break above, until the end of the year, above 80, exactly 80.74, right here, right now, on the weekend, ahead of the 50th calendar week 2012. So very interesting picture, and it will be surely an exciting trading day on Wednesday if you are trading the dollar. However, let's break it down. Okay, however, so let's put it down on a shortly time frame, how to get some positions perhaps on Monday before the Fed press conference. So here, so let's break it down. Here the old templates. Yeah, here I've made them backup. So for my MetaTrader and MetaStock, so I've got them backup on my server, so in the future I don't lose any template anymore. However, here we are on a 50 time frame, and we see on a 50 time frame here the yellow line, as we saw here on the daily time frame. It's looking very sharply here, but on a 50 time frame we see it's not so so far away. Yes. As it's looked like on a daily time frame. So it's always a question with which time frame you're using. However, much more interesting is this one here. What I'm seeing, much more interesting is this one. Here we see the moving average on a weekly time frame, and here on a daily time frame, 50-minute charts. And it looks like that's why I'm thinking that we could have perhaps here lower prices until 80. Perhaps we'll falling until 80 and then have perhaps here 80.50 could be so the trading range ahead of the Fed meeting in the next 48 hours. Perhaps a little bit upside, up or down. So, and important is if we should have lower prices, we will have here a signal, a bullish signal, cause the daily time frame will cross the weekly time frame, first time since 3 or 4 weeks Yes. And look at this. If we put here the weekly highs and lows of this week and last week, here by the way in blue line the high of this week and last week before, we see at start of the week we break excuse me, last week here in blue the lows, we closed round about the lows last week. Then we started this week, the closed week with new lows, got this turnaround on Wednesday, around about Wednesday night. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we've got here this comeback in the dollar future, and we created aftermath here something like a turnaround formation down under the lows of last week before. So we've got here a great setup, and on the above side, here we see we've got here new highs this week above the highs of last week and closed here round about the mid price of last week. So it could be something like a turnaround this week. And look at this, and that's this opinion that last week could be something like a turnaround in the US dollar supports me in this conclusion, give me a support, how they say in English. Yes, here if we saw this line, here this downside trend, look at this guys, we see here this downside trend, as I said, here, this downside trend since 19th November, 1, 2, 3 weeks ago. So here the last week before, and the week before. Here we are trading around about 81 and above. Here we've got here this downside trend, and we see here we crossed here the daily on the weekly time frame, and we created here this aftermath, this fails breakout here. And then we've got lower prices here once again, fails breakout here once again. And look at this, if we zoom park, last week we've got here this on the 50 minutes, this turnaround. So and perhaps if we zoom it, perhaps go a little bit higher on the 30-minute chart, here we see we could create it. Okay, don't get how to say foolish here about this line, cause it changed. This line is based on the 50 time frame. We are lower, we are down under this line, but it's an interesting trading area. So it will be surely an exciting, interesting week. So take an eye off the dollar, of course. This week much more. On Wednesday it will be surely exciting, interesting, volatile, or perhaps, of course, non-event if everybody plays the safe side. So we will see how the risk appetite is of the markets until the last days before Christmas. And however, analyze this stuff again, guys. It's still yours. That's all from my side on Sunday afternoon. I will in the future always give you also a blog, writing some words down. So take a visit at our FM Signals blog, new design, new content, and have a great morning, day or night, wherever and whenever you're watching my FM Signals Info Show videos. Bye bye guys, talking to you while Monday's trading session on Wall Street. So once again, have a great morning, day, night, wherever and whenever you are. Whenever you're watching my FM Signals Info Show videos and wherever you are. So by this way. I'm out at 15 o'clock 27 on Sunday afternoon, 9th December 2012 Central European Time. Bye bye guys. I'm out.